What's up, guys? All right, so we got off that Superman, superhero, whatever bit that we were. I just had to get through that. Get that out of my system. So, what I have for you today is the most ridiculous thing I think I have ever read in my life. Okay, sometimes people take. I don't know if you know people that take things way too far, but sometimes things get a little out of hand. I remember before my daughter was born, I always said I've never seen a pretty baby. All babies are ugly when they're born. And they said your mind will change as soon as you see your little girl, as soon as she's born. And I remember, I saw my little girl and I was like, oh yeah, well, she's pretty, she's good. I was like, okay, I can't help it with the rest of y'all's babies. But so what happens is then they have these things that take place once your baby is born. There's these pageants. God, these pageants. Oh man, everybody wants to stick their baby in a pretty baby contest and put them up there, and they start judging the babies. Well, here's the thing. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to put my baby in a pretty baby contest because here's the thing. You know why? I was worried. Well, if you put your baby in a pretty baby contest, somebody up on that stage, one of them judges may say that my baby's not prettier and may not be as pretty as another baby, and then we're gonna have a problem, because here's the thing. I know mine's number one up there on stage, and sure enough, we go to the first one, and you know what happens? Addie was number two. She was the second place. Man, I don't know what happened, and but it was all right. We made it through that, and they said, let's do another one. I said, all right, we recovered. We did another one. She was first place in that one. I said, okay. Well, we're doing all right now. And then they started wanting to do more of these things. I'm like, no, let's get out of this while the getting's good. We left the game while she was in first place. But man, I tell you what, when you get into that, they're like, oh, all these pageant people start coming around you, and they're like, hey, you got to get into this. You got to start doing this. You got to. And I know some of these pageant people might see this, and they know who they are, because they do it all the time. Pageant becomes life. And they're all, and I have nothing against it. I just, I guess I got that fear of, I don't have a fear of losing myself, because I can take it, but I just don't want my little girl to lose. I just worry about that. Because that upsets me. Somebody say something bad about my little girl, judge her not good enough. Now that leads me to the craziest thing I have read to date. So apparently in Florida, why is it every crazy story that you ever read comes out of Florida? Like some guy in Florida did this, somebody in Florida did that. It just seems like crazy things always happen in Florida. Well, apparently what happened is this principal in Florida and her daughter's I think 17 years old. Her daughter wanted to be homecoming queen, and so the mother is the principal, and she's an assistant principal, and her mother got this far-fetched idea that she's gonna make it happen for her baby girl. Now, some parents will go to the ends of the earth to make a dream come true for their child, and so what this mother did was she decided that if the kids aren't going to vote for my daughter, well, I'm going to make sure they do vote for my daughter, because I know how to get into their accounts and make sure that they vote for my daughter. So she hacked all of these students' accounts, and apparently in total it was like 250 or so many accounts. But here's the problem. She didn't do it from a different IP address. she did like over 250 accounts from her cell phone, just hacking these student accounts. And she's like, okay, another vote for my daughter, another vote for my daughter, another vote for my daughter. And the system eventually was like, okay, something's wrong here, because why are all these students signing on from the same IP address like over and over and over again at like this same place, and something's wrong. And then they looked at where the address was, and it just happened to be the principal's house. And they're like, hey, why are all these students at the principal's house? And that doesn't look right. So they got the authorities involved, and the authorities investigated it for a little while. And so both the mother and the daughter get arrested simply because this little girl wants to be homecoming queen. So I'm just going to tell you, there are going to be moments in your life that your child is going to want something. Please do not cross the boundary of where the legal lines get blurred to make sure that your child gets the thing that they want. Eventually, you have to look at your child and say, you know, you may not get this thing that you want. It may not happen, but there's a reason that it may not happen, and it's a good life lesson. We don't always get what we want. Mama's not going to jail for you. Daddy's not going to jail for you. You know, I'm not hacking every student in the school their computer for you. You're either going to get homecoming queen or you're not. But that was just the most ridiculous story I think I've read to date. I just wanted to share it with you. That was just a little real life for you. So if you're thinking about doing something illegal for your child, stop and think tonight, and really think hard about it. Maybe it's time to sit your child down and have a talk, and kind of draw some boundaries and say, yeah, no, I think you'll be okay. You don't need that. But all right, keep it real, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow. I got some good stuff coming up, and look forward to seeing you guys back.